In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a drawing sheet for this part that will look like this. In the workspace area, we're going to switch from model to drawing, and we're going to go from design. We're going to do our full assembly even though we only have one part. We're going to create from scratch, ASME, and we need to change the page size to the second A size, the 11 by 8.5, so our paper will be in the landscape orientation. Click OK. First thing, I'm just going to cancel that out. We have a title block here. You can double click. This kind of has a default name based off of what your project's in, but you can double click on there again, maybe quadruple click, and then this is going to be called CNC Plasma, and then this is the 4x3 widget. Don't need this second title. Click OK. Notice your name's already in it, the date, and then some of this stuff will get populated as we add our view of our part. This button right here is our base view. That's kind of what it automatically defaulted to at the beginning, but I closed that. We're going to place our first view, and this is going to be a top view of our part. Notice it's pretty small. We're going to change the scale to 1:1, so the actual size of the part. We can also change whether we're doing a line view or a shaded view. It doesn't show in the preview, so I'm going to just leave it on shaded and then click where I want it. Now let's see if I toggle back and forth. Still not doing that, so I'm just going to hit OK. So we have a shaded view. If we go back in here, double click, make this unshaded. So it works after you place it. Okay. Going to use this button right here, projected view, to take this view and project it. So we have our side view. We don't really need that view, and that would be a 3D view, but this is a pretty simple part, so we don't need that. We're just going to go with the side view. Click OK. This will show our thickness. Now we're going to start dimensioning this part. The overall rule for dimensioning a drawing sheet is make it simple, make it clean and easy for the person who's reading it to understand. We don't want to over dimension it, and we just want to keep things from overlapping too much and getting confusing. This button up here has our dimension button. It's going to basically take our measurements from the model workspace and put them on our drawing sheet, because that part was drawn at 4 inches. This one's going to be 3 inches. Right click OK. You can move these and reposition them. So that's the overall height and width of our part. We're going to go back up to dimension. We're going to dimension the diameter of the circle. Let's put that on the inside. I'm going to put it right about there. Click OK. 2-inch diameter. Right click, repeat dimension. This circle right here's got a 1/2-inch diameter. So the first thing you do is click on which side you want it to be on, inside or outside, or the geometry, and then find a spot for it. Click OK. Since this hole basically is the same 3 more times, if I double click on this value, I can add more to this. I'm going to do a space, TYP for typical, meaning that these holes also have that same diameter. This corner is measured with a radius. So if I go down to dimension, I can go to radius dimension and click right there. You could also simply just use your dimension tool. And Fusion is smart enough to know that you're going to dimension that radius. We now need to dimension where these holes are located on our part. This hole is going to be from center to this edge, 1/2 inch. I can also possibly go back and add these center marks to our circles, and that will make it a little easier for adding the dimensions. So we dimension center to edge, 1/2 inch, center to bottom edge. Let's see, find a good clean spot for that. That will work right there. Click OK. Same thing for the big circle, center to this edge. I'm going to go 2 inches there. This edge, 1.5 inches. So we have our width, our height, our whole diameter, our whole location, and this is also applied on the other 3 corners. We have our radius, diameter, location, and then the last dimension is going to be our, you gotta be careful what you're selecting sometimes, thickness. 0.06, click OK. Going to save that. If we go in here, we can also do other things, like if we need more decimal places, alternate units, maybe in millimeters. We can also add some tolerancing to that, but that's a little overkill for right now. We can go back and revisit that at another time. This can be outputted as a PDF, or you can print it. And that's the basics of creating a drawing sheet with dimension for a Fusion 360 model part. Thank you.